So I'm having some questions come in from agents about how this election outcome is going to affect our insurance business as a whole. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to describe what I think and why I think actually everything's going to be quite okay no matter how it all turns out. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense Medicare and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. So yeah, here's the thing, guys. Every 4 years we have an election cycle. One side of the aisle is frightened, scared, angry, falling apart about what could happen, and likewise probably for the other side. They always say this is the election that you have to vote in. It's the one that means the most. However, I think the circumstance is unique for us in the insurance business where in many occasions, not always, and we'll talk about some exceptions to the rule, where the state of the electorate and which way the presidency and the Congress goes really doesn't make much of a difference in the business models that we sell in. I'll give you a couple of examples. I talk at length to agents who want to join my agency. You might have even heard some of my videos where I've talked about this. There are products that we sell, first of all, that actually have bipartisan support and protection against too much, fooling around with. For example, Medicare. This is something that's a bipartisan issue. Senior citizens are the biggest voting bloc. People across the country, no matter whom they vote for, all agree that Medicare and Social Security is something that really shouldn't be tampered with. And I say this because it is kind of the bulwark to our ability to sell something like Medicare supplements or Advantage plans. And certainly allow us to continue to sell final expense simply because it relies on our clients continually getting their fixed income pension plans from Social Security. So, even though who knows what's going to happen with the economy, what the regulations are going to do or change, or how the tax structure is going to change, the cool thing about focusing in the senior market is we're way more immune to what happens in the undulations of good times or bad times, simply because we just have a client group that doesn't need to be gainfully employed. They've already worked to make their money. They're not working to make a living. They already work to make their living. And the Medicare side of things is just pretty much, there's not a lot of support to change it in a negative way to reduce benefits. And if anybody seriously comes out in Congress saying that, they don't get elected or they lose their spot and they put in somebody else who will follow through on that. And I don't see things like final expense getting regulated or managed by the market or managed by the government, et cetera. So, to me, the thing is, I started in this business in 2011, right in the middle of the Great Recession. While things were falling apart, I had a business on Main Street, personal trainer. I remember it, lived through it. Final expense was just immune to it. And then now you've got, fast forward about 10 years from that point, you're now in a position where the demographics are even more in support of a senior market type of strategy. People are turning 10,000, 11,000 a day, 65 years old. That brings on a host of reasons why to buy insurance products like final expense, certainly Medicare coverage to optimize their plans, possibly look at safe money strategies using annuities. So all of this shouldn't go away. I don't see it measurably changing for us, and I can only speak for within the bounds of what I know, which is the senior market and to an extent the insurance business at large. Now, I mentioned a little bit of an exception. I'm not too pie in the sky about everything. We don't know what exactly is going to come down the pike. And the biggest thing that happened in insurance the last time around was when Obamacare was passed back in 2008, and then I think it took effect 2010 or 11. Health insurance agents who serve that market lost everything. They went from 15% lifetime renewals to 10%, 5% to 0%. These insurance companies actually said, yeah, you can still have your clients, we're just not going to pay you anything for them, which is just outlandish. But that is definitely an example of where the government intervened and destroyed an insurance market. And it's funny, if you actually look at the stats of how many people were signed up because of Obamacare that didn't have health insurance before, it was something like $70,000 or $80,000 per head. It was just some egregious number. And there are already things in existence to kind of handle the uninsured portion of the population. There were risk pools. My wife actually had a pacemaker. We couldn't get her individual coverage when I started my personal training business. And the state mandated a pool to put all the high-risk people into, and we paid, God, way less than what we do now for her health insurance. So anyways, I digress. But the point is that it has happened before. Could it happen again? Sure. I mean, I don't know about Medicare, where it's going to be in 10, 20 years from now. I don't know where politics is going to go. But the cool thing is as you start to focus and specialize and get good at insurance, it's likely some of you will start to cross-sell different products. And even if a market is taken out, and this is like worst case scenario, I don't think it's going to happen, you can take your skill set and port it to a different market. You can do something else. You can transition. We all have to be like Madonna. I don't know if you young people ever heard of Madonna's weird woman. She's like ancient now and kind of, wants all the attention. You have to reinvent yourself. You can't be the same old person all the time. You have to adapt to the environment. And much like Madonna did early on, and to remain somewhat relevant. So anyways, double down on what you're doing. Don't let this election bother you, no matter what side of the aisle you stand on, at least from an opportunity standpoint. Again, what's going to happen to the rest of the market, I have no clue. But I can tell you this, man, if you're in insurance, you are in the right business, things are going to be great. They're just going to get better. Next 10 or 20 years is going to be the best time to be in the senior market, probably just insurance at large, but certainly in the senior market where the demographics are exploding in our favor. There's not enough agents to serve them. If you get really good, you're going to have a great career. And who's in office isn't going to change it unless there's a civil war. Who knows? My name is David Duford. Hope this gives you a little encouragement, whether you're a current agent wondering about the circumstances around us or you're thinking about getting into this business. There's tons of opportunity, and nothing that happened on election day changed any of that. If you have some thoughts, comments, concerns, please feel to express them below. Subscribe if you haven't. Thumbs up the video as well. And check out my website if you want to learn about an agency like mine you want to join, and all the details with it. You can click the links above or below to learn more, okay? Thanks, guys. Hope you have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.